Stephen Shields Radio Show. All right. Hello, Wisdom. How are we? Yay. I'm back here on Wisdom. Hope everyone's going well right now. I'm sitting outside. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you want to be on the Stephen Shields Radio Show, let me know where you're from, what you're doing with your life as well. If you want to come and say hi or stop by or just listening, you're most welcome to do that as well. Okay. So yeah, just finished my workout. I'm having my coffee. Got some glutamine powder in my coffee right now and having a podcast on wisdom. Weather right now is 17.8 degrees Celsius. Feels like 13.9 degrees Celsius. It's going to be a top of 21 degrees Celsius with a low of 6 degrees minimum or overnight. 0 to 1 millimetre of rain. Partly cloudy today. Southwesterly wind 13 kilometres an hour wind. 19 kilometres an hour gust. 39% humidity. 0 millimetre rain since 9 a.m. Rain, 75% chance of high, no rain, 50% medium chance of no rain, 25% low chance of less than 1 millimetre. Sydney area today, partly cloudy, slight 20% chance of a shower along the coastal fringe later tonight. Light winds becoming westerly, 15 to 20 kilometres an hour in the early afternoon, then becoming light in the late afternoon. No fire danger rating. The sunrise today was 6:02 a.m. Sunset tonight will be 5:47 p.m. as I'm recording this show. One Inglibius moon phase, last quarter phase of the moon is 18th of September is the next moon phase. 5 moderate max UV index. 9:30 a.m. to 2:20 p.m. They recommend you wear sun protection, sunscreen. So to protect yourself from the sun, I hope everyone is well. Drinking my coffee. Hearing you finish your workout for the day and you just feel great. And I think it's a good idea to keep as fit and healthy as you can during these hard times. We know that Queen Elizabeth II's passed away as well, and it's quite sad. I was watching GB News last night. The whole tribute with Queen Elizabeth obviously made a huge impact on the world to do with colonies and the Commonwealth. So I wonder how the new King of England, I think it's King Charles III, will be doing his job now. And I don't know, like the whole media, you'll be hearing all about this probably all this week or next week even. I know I switched on Fox News last night and it was all about the sad passing of Queen Elizabeth II. And I was watching on GB News because occasionally I might flick through GB News maybe once a week or so and check out what's going on in the UK because I like their reporting as well. Yeah, but it's times like these, I don't want to sit down and watch the news for a whole 4 hours. The thing is, if you're gonna watch the news and it's just repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, you feel that. What can I say? It can get very repetitive and boring at the same time too. But it's all about well, we've got to move on. This this is sad that this has happened. There will be many media companies doing tributes to Queen Elizabeth II, and you'll be hearing a lot about it on the news. I thought I'd give a little tribute today. She did a lot of good in the world as well for colonies and the Commonwealth. But what can I say? As I'm recording the show today, and it's a nice sunny day at the moment here on Wisdom as well. And I mean, I look back on my last 2 years of my life, the last 2 years of living in a pandemic, with COVID-19 and all this stuff, and basically how it's impacted the world on a negative basis, and how it's made things have changed a lot out there. I mean, all I can say is I just want to move on with my life. I mean, we've all got problems. We all have our issues to deal with as well. But I'm always practicing the spirituality, and basically, I did my breath work this morning. I did some like a Kundalini fire breathing. It's very good to just start your day, I think, with spirituality in your life. Because I can only find it like this, that we only have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There was a movie, I think, that was done in 2006. It was with Will Smith. He was playing a businessman. And what happened was the businessman ended up going broke, homeless. I forgot what the movie was called. I'll let you look it up. I'll look it up now. You know, and it was a very interesting. It's called The Pursuit of Happiness. It was 2006. I've seen it. I think I watched it on Disney Plus. And it's about this uh, man, and it's very interesting. The pursuit of happiness, because this movie, it shows what it's like to be really broke and having no money and homeless on the street. It was about Chris Gardner, a homeless salesman. Now, he ended up getting divorce when this happened. Apparently, you know, because Hollywood likes to dramatize everything. As you know, they do. They like to twist things around in Hollywood. It's never 100% accurate. There was things left out in the movie where he ended up, I think he found another woman, and she died, and he was ended up more hurt going through heartbreak than when he was homeless. Now he ended up being a millionaire. I think it's Chris Gardner, by the way. Look it up if you get a chance. Ended up becoming a millionaire, and yeah, he was saying that heartbreak is definitely one of the worst things. Look, I've been through heartbreak myself, and yeah, it hurts. It sucks when you go through heartbreak. You know, it's it's wonderful to have a dream and a goal for the future. But I like to always be realistic with what I am doing, in life. I mean, as you can hear, that sitting outside now in nature after my workout, I feel great. You know, so I could sit here on social audio. I know it's Sunday evening for my US audience out there in the United States. You look, if you get a chance to watch the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, go and watch it because it's describes what people are going through these days, being broke, and you know, he ended up becoming rich in the end, but he worked very hard to get to the top. And he was saying, I think it was in one interview, that he can go and chase all the stocks he wants, but it'll never ever make him happy ever. I wonder why is that. I know when one day I leave this earth, I want to leave a legacy behind. You know, I want to be able to just keep doing the best work that I want, you know, and that's what I care about. I care that I'm here, and I'm always wanting to manifest the best life that I want to manifest in the future. I mean, as you know, lately I've been taking my politics very seriously as well, and always working hard. I just released a new album on Bandcamp called Dead Man Walking. So I was trying out some new things with my work. So that's already available as well. But for me, my journey has just been about just showing up, showing up every day. I come on Wisdom here, and I feel that it's all about finding, well, what's been my calling in life too. But here's a question for everyone: if you had one more day to live in life, if you were told you were going to die tomorrow, what would you do with your time? What would you do with your life? What would you do? Is another question. What would you do? Where would you go? What would you see? What would you watch? Any hurt or any trauma that you need to address as well? I'm constantly always thinking, what would I do if I had one more day to live as well? I mean, that's an interesting one too. You know that. I mean, all I can do at the moment is just keep creating my best work that I want, and being able to find my own happiness within me, within Stephen Shields, because I am Stephen Shields, and I reckon there'll only be one Stephen Shields ever in the world. You know that. And so this is, I'm always, at one time in my life, I was always wanting to pursue something out there that I was never ever happy about. Yeah, I've been through heartbreak myself. It sucks. It hurts. It you literally just feel. I felt lost, drained, didn't have any energy at all. And it sucks. I'll tell you that. It sucks a lot. Well, what I got called here to do today on the podcast, on the Stephen Shields radio show, we'll share a bit about my story and, my journey, about what I've been through and, what I've had to overcome in life too. I'm always improving the podcast as much as I can too. And that's what we should all be doing. Have you ever worked on yourself for 6 months to a year? You just work on yourself spiritually, personal development. When I was going through my journey of personal development, I found that, well, who was I? I mean, there is a lot of crap out there in the personal development market, and there's a lot of people trying to sell you shit too. There's a lot of scammers in the personal development industry. You know that. But for me, it's been a hard one. It really has been a hard journey for me. But I've done everything that I can. I've done the best that I can to overcome all my obstacles. Because I guess life is full of problems. We all have problems in life. This is why I, get out, I exercise, hit the gym hard, put on Audible just to forget the world. Go for my afternoon walk as well. Get away from the computer. Sometimes you just got to get away from it all. That's what you got to do in life. You just got to get away from it, everything, Looking at that bird down there. Don't know what it's doing with its wings, but it's maybe being silly. Like I said, I went hiking on the weekend and, noticing a lot of crows, black crows, because they give a spiritual meaning or something that they're telling me. And, well, I mean, when you look at it, the world of the spiritual universe or something like that, there's so much information, so much books out there. Deepak Chopra, you know, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Gabrielle Bernstein, Wayne Dyer as well. Louise Hay was one, known for affirmation. Man, there's so many meditation styles out there. And you just got to find what's your practice that you're doing. What's your meditation practice that, well, if you want to get closer to God, whoever you want to get closer to spiritually, you just got to find, well, what's the right style for you, I guess. Visualizations, one, two, law of attractions, one. It's all about finding, well, what is your calling in life, Sometimes you just got to unplug from the mass media and just get away from it all. You have to, you know. I think it. The world does get you know, hard all the time. You know that. I feel that it's what can I say? What can I say? But guys, let me know where you're tuning in from too. Let me know what's happening in your life, and if you had one more day to live, well, what would you be doing in life as well? You know that. What would you be doing? Where would you travel to as well? You know, what would you be seeking for your path of destiny and happiness at the same time. To, all you need to do is just join the Stephen Shields radio show on Wisdom, and let me know where you are from. I'd love to get to introduce yourselves to. So let's see, we've got a guest waiting now. Let's see. Okay. Hello.
Hello, this is Bhupender. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful. So you go by Stephen or Steve?
Stephen.
Stephen.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a fantastic question, and it definitely makes you reflect. What would you do if you have only one more day?
Mm-hmm.
So the way I spin this in my mind. Oh, before I think you were asking that the guest should introduce. So I'm Bhupender. I
Yep.
currently reside in Seattle, Washington, which
Uh-huh.
is the West Coast here in the United States.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do for a career?
For my career, I'm an engineer. Uh,
Uh-huh.
also, I'm into project management. That's what I do for to make money so I can feed myself and take care of my family.
Uh-huh. And are you into spirituality, meditation?
That's my core. That I cannot get out of my bed without
Uh-huh.
connecting with myself,
Uh-huh.
and that's really the my life purpose. I'm seeking
Uh-huh.
um, to be to remain in my natural self all the time. My
Mm-hmm.
natural self is peace, joy, and bliss.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel that the passing of Queen Elizabeth II has had on the whole world?
I really did not dwell on that. My
Mm.
world, if we are talking spirituality, I try to limit my world to my mind and my body. What happens outside of me? There have
Mm.
been some amazing personalities.
Mm-hmm.
They all had their
Yeah.
own impact, but my world is
Mm-hmm.
within me, and
Mm-hmm.
I need to take care of my world first. I need to influence my own world before I can go out and uh, try to change others or anything. But definitely, she left her mark on so many people.
Mm. Yeah. Because all the news media is all talking about Queen Elizabeth II. Um, yeah.
Yeah, and then I honor and respect everyone's profession, what everyone is doing, but media is also a profession these days, and there are always stories that cycle through the media. They become big stories and then they fade away. Then they pick up the next story, and this media cycle keep going on. My point is, it's not about what they are saying. Just like if I respect this body, I make sure I feed it the best food.
Mm-hmm.
So this body is in its peak performance. Uh, in the same fashion, this mind is a tool, an awesome tool, and we humans have the most evolved mind. So I got to be
Mm-hmm.
careful what I'm feeding my mind, because whatever I feed this mind, that affects um, the sharpness of this tool in terms of the tool working for me, producing thoughts of joy, bliss, and peace instead of working against me and producing thoughts of stress, worry, and anxiety. So that's the key part. We should be very careful in terms of what we're consuming on an individual level and also as a society.
hmm Exactly. You know, get up, do meditation, yoga, get out in nature. I was talking before you came on. There was a movie with Will Smith done in 2006, The Pursuit of Happiness, and
Hmm.
if you get a chance to watch it. And it goes to show that this businessman was really broke and poor, getting evicted, divorce. He gets rich in the end, but he ended up. I think he met a woman or something, and she died, and that hurt him more, going through heartbreak, than being broke and homeless.
Hmm.
They didn't feature that in the movie.
Hmm.
You know, have you seen The Pursuit of Happiness?
I might have. It's been a while. I know about the movie, but I totally believe that everyone, no matter what someone is doing, the end result everyone wants is happiness. And I can tell my story. I was born in India, and the glamour and glitter of the Western world attracted me. I came here when I was really young, in my 20s, early 20s, and
hmm
it was actually a pursuit of happiness. And
hmm
with the degrees, with the education, I did pretty well. I started living the American dream, and I thought that was happiness. But guess what happened? My marriage broke down, and I had two children
hmm
at the time.
Yeah.
My health was compromised because I was paying a huge cost for the happiness that I was trying to accumulate, put it that way,
hmm
measured by the car I drove, the vacations I was taking, the elite circle of people I hung out with, and so on and so on. And all that fell apart for me. And
hmm
that's where I started seeking what I started calling eternal happiness.
hmm
And I was like binge meditating, binge reading, because I wanted the answer, not someone else's answer from a book. That's very easy to find. I wanted my own answer.
hmm
So something beautiful happened. Um, I remarried my wife
hmm
because my seeking led to find me the cause of my suffering and causing pain to my wife, my children, and other extended family was me not being whole, means my mind was working against me instead of producing thoughts of joy, bliss, and peace. It was like lost paradise.
hmm
This is what I'm calling paradise. And so I had lost the paradise within me, and I thought I have to go find the paradise outside of me. I have to find happiness through other people, and so on and so on. But I miserably failed, but that was the greatest blessing, I would say. I can say that now, today, but when I was going through that transformation, not at all. I
mm
was holding others responsible for what was happening inside me. But then since so I've been remarried. We always say the first was an arranged marriage, the second was a love marriage, when nobody really supported us to get remarried. And for me, spirituality is not something sitting in a silo and meditating. It is like a swimmer that has to go out. If I'm a swimmer, if I'm spiritual, then like a swimmer, I better be in the water and not drown. And
mm
initially, when I was drowning in the relationships, I was not able to manage myself. And I thought the water was drowning me. people were drowning me, situations were drowning me. And if a swimmer says the water is drowning me, if a spiritual person says I need to get rid of A, B, C, D, E from my life to be happy, then I will say, you haven't learned swimming yet. So for me, spirituality, I use a metaphor of a swimmer, and that was the reason we remarried. And these last 10 years have been phenomenal, I would say. And it's a different, totally different lifestyle. So for me, materialism and spirituality are not two different things.
Mm-hmm.
And we need the material world, material things, but the intent behind them should be very clear. If I'm flashing my material possessions as a trophy of my success, then I'm fooling myself. But if I'm using those means where I have the freedom to do the things I want to do to be well, now I'm making the best of the material world. So that's my pursuit of happiness.
Describe the American dream. What is the American dream?
American dream is more things, more amenities, more comforts for the physical body. That's what it is. More wealth, but there's a huge cost for that. Like having more cars, more traveling, more products, different kind of foods, all that stuff. All that is only connected. Again, that's my definition of American dream. Those are just the comforts for the physical body, but we are more than the physical body. Physical body is simply like a house in which we are living. I could have the best house, but if I, the one living in this house, does not, I'm not comfortable, the house doesn't mean much to me. It is like sitting in an air-conditioned room on a hot summer day and holding a piece of burning coal in my hand. And I'm not going to feel the comfort of the cool air because I don't even know who I am. I think I am this physical body. And my American dream was connected to the physical comforts.
And how long were you living the American dream for?
So, like 20 years, 15 or 20 years.
Now, you mentioned it was a cost to you. Like, was it hard for you to be able to keep up with that lifestyle?
I enjoyed that lifestyle. I lived it to the fullest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't have any regrets for, I call it a grand experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, what matters is what did I learn? Imagine if I had became spiritual from day one because someone told me to, then I was always thinking, what are these people doing, going out to the bars, drinking the scotch, doing all those things? I don't know. They seem very happy. Now I have experienced that to the fullest. Now I know I that's not enough for me. There's more than that. That's impermanent. That is only good for the time being. It doesn't last forever.
Yeah. I know in San Francisco, LA, it's very like that. Always constantly chasing the next dollar because of our cost of living as well. Was it like that for you?
Yeah. Are you in San Francisco or you somewhere else?
Sydney, Australia.
Oh, you're in Sydney, Australia. And let me tell you something else. I went back to India in 2010, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the big cities in India, they are no different than the American cities now because these corporations are there. The whole concept of happiness and success has been sold to those economies also because these companies have to find the next biggest market because United States market is almost saturated, and India and China happen to be the next target. So for me, it was an eye opener. A lot of people think India is spiritual. Um, yes, I call it the research. Inner engineering is spirituality. That's a research that has been done for a long time, but it's
Mhm.
almost like the wheel is turning. I have more people in here in the Western world who have tasted that material success, and now they are looking for something greater, and they are
Mhm.
turning towards some of the Eastern philosophies and wisdom. Whereas, at least based on my experience in the big cities in India, they are becoming the next New Yorks and San Franciscos of India.
Mm. And how do you live the American dream?
How how did I live the American dream? Because it was essentially the definition of success was the more I have, the more successful I am. The bigger the house, the more expensive the car, the more expensive my scotch. I used to love my scotch.
Mhm.
And more bigger parties I have, then have vacations, and I can brag about those. That was my American dream. And
And was
everyone,
it hard? Was it
sorry,
hard for you to get into that lifestyle? How many hours a day were you working to be able to get there?
I was just working my regular 40 hours a week, but I had a good job. So it's paying. It's still I still have the same job or even a better job. So it was not
Mhm.
difficult for me to get there, and there was celebration every weekend. But
Mhm.
no, it was not very hard. And I had a circle of friends, and call it inspiring each other or pushing each other. So we were
Mhm.
always pushing the limits. Um, but it does take a toll. Even you might work 40, 50 hours, but because you always think you are less because someone else is
Mm.
going to have more than you. Um,
Mm.
and you're never fulfilled. Never
Mhm.
fulfilled. You're always afraid, oh, the guy next door might build a bigger house than me, right? Or
Mhm.
uh, it's like I think of concentric rings, right?
Mhm.
And let's call those elite circles. So once you,
Mhm.
like a video game, so achieve
Mhm.
level one, but you know there's a level two. Okay, you're in level two, then you find out there's a level three, and it's a
Mm.
never-ending search, never-ending search.
Yeah.
And the other part is you're moving in a circle, and I
Mhm.
always laugh. Now I laugh at myself, Bhupinder. Now, can you tell me who's in the guy in front of you? Is he really ahead of you, or maybe he's one round less than you? In circle, there's no starting and beginning, starting and end. It's like a rat race.
Mm.
Even if you are the rat running in the front, you're still a rat.
Mm. Exactly.
And I don't say this to demean anyone. I'm laughing at myself, laughing at my
Mhm.
own experiment, what I have learned.
Exactly. At the moment, so are you working or you building a business?
I work full time, but I do produce podcasts. I've published a couple of books. I'm writing my next book, but
Mhm.
I look forward that I will be um, um, doing this full time more as a service than anything else.
Yeah.
And I'm so easily I can relate to so many people in the corporate world, and also I move in many healing circles and stuff,
Mhm.
and I can understand both sides.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like you want to find something that you love doing and make that as your
Yeah,
full-time job.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Even at work, if you really think, um, I go in there, I say I'm going to learn about me. How do I handle myself through a given situation, right? And I get
Mhm.
paid for that. It's like the
Mm.
swimmer who goes into the water, and if he cannot swim well, what does he learn? Does he learn that the water is drowning me, or learning that I need to hone my own skills? For me, going to work feels like that, where
Mm.
different, let's call it problems or challenges or opportunities or blessings are offered, and how does Bhupender handle himself
Mm.
in that situation? Is that swimmer trying to find out, am I able to maintain myself? Am I able to remain in my paradise or not?
Mm.
So I say,
Yeah.
I have a very different take than, and in fact, someone asked me, and you're gonna laugh at this. I don't know. You probably know about the corporate world.
Yeah.
Someone asked me, Bhupender, how come you're smiling? I'm like, dude, you need to think what you just said. I'm gonna ask you, how come you're not smiling? It's and
Exactly.
and and that's serious thing when someone says, how come you are smiling? Means you're not supposed to smile if
Mm.
you're working. Does it mean you're
Mm.
not serious about work? Come on, dude.
Mm.
So for me, that I enjoy because of these interactions. In fact, last week I was walking into work 8 in the morning. Someone says, "It looks like you really like coming to work on Mondays." I said, "For me, every day is a Friday, and Friday has four nicknames: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday." I don't know who told you Mondays are not good, because if you are
Mm.
willing to do what you're doing, you're gonna enjoy it. But if you're doing it out of compulsion, or you think if you don't do this, your life is over, then you're not gonna like coming to work. And honestly, that is a problem in the corporate world where we have not understood why people are not engaged.
Mm.
Because
Yeah,
I
it's
call
like that in Australia. Uh, People don't want to show up to work. They're miserable. You can tell.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's common, and you know why it is like that. Um, I was once in a meeting. I came from vacation, and the guy who was running, he was the chief. Well, in fact, he's from Australia. FYI,
Mhm.
uh, I work for General Motors, and they used to have the Holden um,
Mhm.
division in Australia that has been shut down now. So a lot
Mhm.
of these engineers and other employees were moved to North America,
Mhm.
and I love his Australian accent. So it was a stressful time, and so I jump into this meeting where I have to report status on a few things, and he was very rough on me. And I was telling, dude, I just came back from vacation, 7 days, so I will make some calls and get you what you need. And I'm
Mhm.
very good friends with this person, and this person really knows me, just like the conversation we are having. I had this conversation with most of the people there. Then he calls me after the meeting. He's a Bhupinder, I'm so sorry. I'm like, Ermi, what happened? He said, I'm stressed out. I said, listen, dude,
Mm.
fear is a cheap motivation. It does not yield value added results. And
Exactly.
and he had tears in his eyes.
Well, everyone has fear as well.
Yes, it's
You know.
it's it's sad. It's
Yeah.
sad. And that's the pursuit of happiness. We're pursuing happiness in such a fashion that it is like chasing our own shadow, and we are never
Mm.
able to catch it.
Yeah. Always trying to chase that next thing.
Yeah, the next wave, next
What
wave,
it
next
is.
wave.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a game. It's a game, but we have to play this game, right? We cannot. I cannot sit in the basement of my house saying I'm meditating 24/7. No, meditation is more of a meditative state when I'm my
Mhm.
natural self. And and
Mm.
and and but we've been told these two are two different things. That's the way I grew up, telling spirituality is one, materialism is one. If you become spiritual or religious or whatever, then you won't be successful in the material world. And I will say I'm going to challenge everyone who believes that to experiment with the concept of integrating these two, really understanding and checking it out on your own instead of believing what someone has said.
Mm. Exactly. Yeah, spirituality is a lifelong learning process for everyone. including me, and finding, well, what meditation practice do you like the best? So many books out there too.
Yeah, there's a lot of information, and but it's about, what the way I look at information or knowledge is, we need to put it to practice and test it
Yeah.
out, and let's see how far this takes me. But if you don't do that, then we're not digesting what's been offered. Then I can say, oh, I read 10 books. Okay, so what?
Mm. Yeah.
Did it transform me? That's the real question. The transformation from this place of discomfort to a place of comfort within us.
Well, exactly. Life is all
That's
about transformation.
absolutely. And someone the other day asked me, Bhupinder, um, where are you on your journey? How do you know? I said, it's very simple. The state of our relationships
Mhm.
is our state of awareness. The first relationship is with our own self, then with our
Yeah.
physical body, then with our environment, then with our food. These are all the relationships we have. And then, of course, our friends and family. What kind of relationships we have. That's what define who we are.
Yeah, I mean, you look now, there's a lot of toxic relationships with families these days because of material greed, I've
Yes,
noticed.
yes,
Di
it's
I mean, divorce is one. I know you've been divorced, but divorce nowadays has become a business.
yes, yeah.
I don't
Divorce is,
understand it.
yeah, because the lawyers for them is just a simple case. I actually,
Mm,
when I went through the proceedings, that's what I learned. And there was a
mm,
point where I wanted them to do something which would help the children. The lawyers were giving me the recommendation, and I dared to tell the lawyer, I said, you know who's paying you?
mm.
I am paying you. I can fire
Yeah,
you. And he got
yeah.
pissed off at me. I said, for you, these are not children, but I made the mistake that I brought my family dispute to the court
Mm.
because I knew no better. I made a mistake. I learned that. How can someone else fix my problems? And for them, it's like a business project.
And this
And
lawyer got pissed off with you. That's
yes,
unprofessional for a lawyer to do that.
oh, he was known as a Mr. Dick. He was very, very like had a tall demeanor where everyone listened to him.
Oh my God.
But he was known as the best lawyer because he will get his point across. Um,
Yeah.
but I was not happy. I said, the gas in your car, you know where that comes from? You're getting the money from me.
Yeah.
And he goes, I haven't met a person like you before. I said, you go and
Yeah.
sit in that huge green chair, a tall chair. You put me in the small chair. That's demeaning. Put your client in that big chair and you sit down there.
Mm.
I was just being funny, but yeah, I got a minute or so to left. It was really nice talking to you.
Yeah,
And
it's nice to have you on the show. Where can people find you on your social media?
I
Or
don't have any links there, but I do have a podcast called Diary of Human Warriors.
Mhm.
So, but I'm not on the social media at this point. But I'll be launching something pretty soon.
Yep.
Um, but we can stay connected here.
Yeah. Also, whenever I'm podcasting, feel free to come back on the show. Awesome to have you on.
Absolutely,
Have a
absolutely.
good have a good evening where you are.
Yeah,
And
it's good. Yeah, I just came
look,
from a 30-mile cycling trip, so I'm hungry. And looks like it's a morning for you in Australia.
yeah, it's 12:41 p.m. heading into afternoon, lunchtime
Okay.
for me,
Yeah,
and
enjoy your afternoon. Yep.
I will do. And you take care.
You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, that was awesome to have a guest all the way on from the United States. It's always great to get to talk to people. You know, it's always interesting the conversations we have on the Stephen Shields radio show. You never know who you're going to talk to. You never know. It's always great to connect with people on the other side of the world. This is what's amazing about social audio as well. Look, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today as well. Next week, this podcast goes up on Fridays, but next week there'll be no podcast. I'll just be taking a week off. Just need, you know, always it's always great to have a week off when I can. So that I'll be taking a break, but I'll definitely be recording some shows this week as well. Don't forget to check out my new album, and if you would like to purchase Dead Man Walking on Bandcamp, please do. It would help me as a musician because of all the production costs that are involved as well. You can give me a follow on social media. I'm on trying out a new Twitter alternative called gab.com. So I'll be on there. I'm on Webtalk, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. Check those out. Give me a follow there. You can find me on YouTube, Rumble, Ultreon, and Odysee as well. So I've started uploading more content as well, trying to get more content out all over the world and finding my chosen destinations of my platforms too. I really like to say thank you to all my listeners who stopped by on Wisdom, and all the best for everyone. Bye for now.